The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRCMedia, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Keith Tebow from FRCMedia. The preliminary election in Fall River is on Tuesday, September 16th. There's only one race on the ballot this year. It's for the race for mayor. There are 5 candidates on the ballot this year, and we're proud to be joined by one of them. He is Carlos Cesar. He is one of the challengers that will be hopefully making it to the final election in November. Carlos, how are you? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
I'm doing good. Thank you, Kit, for the invitation, and it's always a pleasure to be here and talking to the viewers of Bristol Community College TV.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, we've known each other for quite a while. You've done programming with us here at FRCMedia, but for people who don't know who you are, just give us a little background of who Carlos Cesar is.
Sure. I immigrated here in 1988 and eventually learned on my own time the English because I attended school and I learned French. So I came in here speaking Portuguese and French. And with the years, I had to learn my ways. And I never went to school. I learned on my own the English and writing and reading. So I think I did a pretty good job. And when I thought that I have a chance to become a citizen, now it's time. That's another big challenge, is putting my application in and become a citizen, which I was lucky to pass it the first time and became a citizen.
Yeah. So what do you do for a living?
Right now, for the past 10 years, I've been driving school buses. Okay. I love what I do. I love the intersection with the kids, and I took this month off because they're still running the summer programs. Right. But I took this month off to campaign. But I was doing, since vacation, started summer vacation, I was doing a kindergarten. Really, really interesting, really funny kids. And really, I love what I do.
Yeah, good. So let me ask you, we'll talk about some of your community involvement, specifically with the Flint Neighborhood Association, mm-hmm. But why run for mayor and why run now?
Well, my number one was budget. Was the way the budgets are going, and it's been growing over the years. And this time alone, never one administration went up like 90% on budgets. Probably that's public information. You probably can Google. But last night I Googled just to make sure I had the numbers, and here's for the budget of 2021, $271 million. If you want to see the budget they have right now, it's over 500 million. I'm sorry, over 500 million. I had it in here. I showed it before, but yes. So we went from 271 million to 451 million. Mm-hmm. So it's like a $240 million increase in 5 years.
Mm. So let me ask you, I want to get into as many issues as we can in the time that we have here today. But I actually want to start with what's the number one priority for you? Is it the budget? And what are plans?
I have 3.
You have 3 priorities?
3, yes.
What are they?
Public safety, mm-hmm. crime, and education.
Okay.
City cannot run without those 3 working together and working well. Mm. We are understaffed on the police force. We are understaffed on the fire, and the schools are failing. So those are 3 points that I think if we can do a better job on it, then we can turn this city around.
You mentioned, and prior to this, and you can watch this as well on our channel. Mr. Cesar recorded a candidate statement as part of our Meet the Candidates program that we do every couple of years. You mentioned that you're interested in finding out why the city's budget is now, $517 million. And what do you hope to do with that?
Correct. So, and That's what I've been running. That's what I've been knocking on doors and telling people, promising people that I will do. It's a forensic audit. We have a $240 million difference in 5 years. So we have money. We just need to spend it smart, target what we need to do first. And that's why when I say public safety and police, because those, when I'm building my budget, those will be the first people on the table to get awarded money. I want to increase the manpower. I want to give them the tools they need so we can improve the city. So they will be my first priority on a budget, will be them. Then at the end of the budget, if I don't have money on a budget to pay the assistant of the assistant of the assistant, so it's like 1 full-time and 5 part-times, then I'm sorry, we cannot afford you.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk a little about the third item you mentioned, that's education. As mayor, of course, you'd be the chair of the school committee. Mm-hmm. How, as mayor, do you hope to work with the school department? And you said there's been, little accountability and mm-hmm. little progress in terms of school and the students and their educational attainment levels. What can you do as mayor to help change that?
Well, work not with one seat, but all 6 of them. I think what we're noticing right now is a disconnection between board member with board member. We all want the same goal. We all should be agreeing with everything. If I don't think that I will go into a meeting without at least have a knowledge where the other board member is sitting, because I think it's no communication there. So some board members are just finding out because it's on the agenda that day. But it was never a connection that, where you're standing on this, what do you think, what can we work together, what the compromise that we can do to make this pass. You know what I'm saying? It seems like they adjust to show the conflict. Mm. So that's the only thing. And believe me, it's working because people are actually turning on now the meeting because to hear the conflict, not to hear the solutions and to resolve the problems. It's just good for him, he told him this. Well, good for her, she said that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't think, I think that from the beginning starts right there. We all working for the same goal. Yeah. Starts right there.
And regardless of whoever is elected mayor, there'll be at least 3 new members of mm-hmm. that school committee.
Yes.
As 3 of the incumbents decided not to run mm-hmm. this year.
And I don't know if
so there's an opportunity there, I guess.
Yes.
Right?
And I don't know if you noticed, only 2 people on that board are asking the questions, because it's questions they're hearing from the voters, from the parents. So you cannot get mad because a board member are asking questions to answer people that they got calls from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think that's a big issue there.
So another issue that goes along with budget and the like is the cost of living here in Fall mm-hmm. River. I mean, it's a nationwide issue, especially since the pandemic. Prices have gone up, inflation, high rents. Let's talk about the cost of living in terms of rents. We've all seen here in Fall River rents skyrocket, yes. double in many cases. And people, how do you deal with that?
Yes. So everything comes down to how much money can we save the homeowner? Because we can ask them, the government can knock on their doors, the governor can come down and knock on their doors, can you cut the rent half? If you have a bill and a mortgage to pay, and for mortgage you like who's renting from you for 20 years, and you never had problems with them, you have to bring the price up because you're not going to be paying them to rent on your house for free. So I think what we have to do, it's more deeper than just rent control. Or we need to save the homeowners' tax dollars. We need to bring it down, and so this way they can pass on to the renters. So that's why I'm saying we're going to fund a lot of money on that budget. and funding a lot of money on that budget, we will be able to work with the homeowners and bring tax down.
You also, there's been a movement, I believe there's a bill in the state legislature to reinstitute rent control if local communities want to do that. Would you be in favor of that?
No. I mean, I cannot go, or we cannot go knock on somebody's property and say, I want you to rent an apartment at this price. They don't know how many expenses you have. They don't know if you have down on your mortgage or if you just bought the house now. So you can imagine a person that just bought a house now, and the rent, they have to jump the rent because they have a mortgage to pay, or else they will never be able. So I don't think that's going to work. I don't think that's going to pass.
Yeah, there's also opportunities. There are a lot of absentee landlords in Fall River. You know about that. Would it be something that maybe you give those who are owner occupied sort of an extra help?
Yes.
As well?
Yes. We need to look. We need to look to incentives for people to buy properties and to live on the properties, because and we all know, when you live on the property, it's a complete different game. The way you maintain the house, the way your house, when you drive down the street, you can pretty much see if the owner lives on the house or not.
Right. Another issue in Fall River, it's come up quite a bit in recent years, is the homelessness situation. The police department just recently did a big sweep of the rail trail area in terms of those encampments there, arresting over 30 individuals. Where do you fall on being careful to the people who live in a neighborhood where these encampments are going on, plus also being empathetic to those who may be homeless, who may be facing some addiction and mental health issues?
One thing that I didn't mention yet was one of the reasons that I came forward and I run for mayor is because I have a team behind me. I have people advising me, people that have been advising different administrations what to do different to get different results, and they've been ignored by the administrations. So these people saw the trust on me and saw that I can deliver and have that affected. So on the homeless, and I have a group on economic development, I have a group on homeless, on crime. On the homeless, I got a number. So what we're doing is, working with the group, is we identify one by one, and we are getting in different categories, because homeless, it's not one church fits all. Every individual has a different story, has a different need. So we identifying those are homeless because they cannot afford a house, they cannot afford an apartment. So those need to be, and it's a very easy fix too. So those identify, they're working, they're still driving, most of them still driving, so they just need a cheap place to live. So we can identify those. Then we have those that needs help with health issues and all of that. We need to identify those and work with those. Are we going to resolve all? No. But if we can minimize the number, and it would be a lot easier for solution. Some people say, but the money is there. The money it's like, I think last night or the night before, they were told $3.5 million the city's spending on the homelessness. But what's the goal? Where are we going to end up in 2 years? Do we have a project? Do we have a plan? What that money is going to? So I think the money is there. We need to appropriate the money in a way that we're going to help them, not now, but on the future, give them, an opportunity to get back to the society, get back to the city.
Do you feel that in terms of the homelessness, that it is primarily a city, meaning a government issue, or would you still work with some of the nonprofits out there? Stepping Stone's been involved, the Tomeo Center, some of the churches have been involved. I guess, do you see it as a government solution, or is it a government plus?
What I'm seeing is a lot of people making money out of these people, okay? Just because They don't want to resolve the problem because they're going to lose their job. So, and that cannot be. This cannot be. Priority should be to help them get out of that situation. Yes, we have some people that just love to be the outside, love to be on their tents. But just kick them from here without giving them a place to go, it's not a solution. We just keep hitting the can down the road. We need a solution. If we're going to move them from here, okay, either we're going to work with them, give them help, give them what we need, and then have a location that they don't have to be kicked out.
Mm-hmm. A big project that's going to be somewhat completed, at least the construction part of it, the basic construction project, is the Route 79 Duval Street work. The roadway should be done in about a year, 2026. Then the work comes in terms of what will go there, who will take control of that. Right now, the state owns that land. Mm-hmm. There's been a move to have the redevelopment authority take over that land and provide all the leadership in terms of the development down there. Unsure what the state wants to do at this point. What is your view? How should that? Should the city be in control of that? Should the state be in control? Should there be a partnership?
No, I think the city should be in control of that. So, and that's how we started that project. I don't know if you remember, if you go back, when that development started, it was the city, the state will come in and put all the stuff that they need to put on the ground, and then give the land back to the city for development. That's how we got sold on the waterfront.
Right.
And this is the only and the last opportunity that we have as a city to develop a waterfront for our community, to have entertainment, to have a place to go, and to even have money, raise money from. Big revenue we can make on a very good developed waterfront. I don't think putting apartments there that they're going to give the city $10,000 per year in tax and having, $10 million at the end of the year revenue, I don't think that's a solution we need to go. I think that's the priority, that city land. We need to work on a project that's going to get a lot of revenues for the city so the taxpayers can have help with tax.
I want to talk a little bit about your time as president of the Flint Neighborhood Association and your work in the Flint. You recently, less than a year ago, I guess, you stepped down because you were running for mayor and didn't want to have that conflict. Why did you get involved in the Flint? Give us a little background for people who don't know some of the things you were able to accomplish.
1988, when I came from Portugal, my flight was late, and I had an uncle on Alden Street. So because the family was going to pick us up at the airport, the flight was late, so the people left. They didn't even know, we're talking about almost 40 years ago. They didn't even know if the flight was on the air. So they just left. But I found a couple there at the airport, and I asked them, because I had an uncle there, he said, do you mind to bring us down to Fall River and just drop me on Alden Street? So it was February 23rd, 1988. I got dropped at 3 o'clock in the morning, right in front of the Spiritual Center Church. And that's what I fell in love with, was the Flint. I said, that's what I want to work. I worked at Madeiras Bakery. I worked around there, that area. I really fell in love with the neighborhood, and that's what I did all my projects to help the city and help the neighborhood, which we accomplished. I have to say, we accomplished a lot on that neighborhood for the city.
Give people some examples who may not know some of the things.
So right now, the senior center has 10,000 square feet on the Canine Mills.
Yep.
That was, I negotiate that space. They paying $1 a year for that space. It was through my group working with the developers. They ask us for credit releases, for letters of support, and say, okay, what you going to give us back? And we came to that agreement. Then we moved to the Father Travassos Park. My friend Al Lima put the architect design together for the state. We sent it to the architect. The city got $2.5 million to fix it. Then working with the chief of police, they said the crime on the Flint was high, so we did the carnival. We raised $15,000. We purchased the first 3 cameras for the police department to cut crime on the neighborhood. I mean, it's so many that we accomplished through my, people that I have always helping me, because I'm one. I don't know about everything, but I always listen to people that have good ideas, that knows about the stuff, and I just make it happen.
Yeah. Let me ask you, what, if you are elected mayor, how will you want to work with the neighborhoods? Because I know you've worked with different administrations through your years as in the Flint neighborhood. How would you as mayor work with the neighborhood and the associations to get things done? Sure.
I'm a big believer of neighborhood associations. And at one point during an administration, the neighborhood groups grew huge. We went from 6 neighborhood groups up to 14 or 15 neighborhood groups, and that really that is our eyes and ears on the neighborhood. And you cannot pay people. You cannot afford to pay people to be on the neighborhoods like this, all these neighbors are. And they're all working for free. They're all working for us. It's eyes and ears on the street and reporting to us the problems, the issues, the streets that need to be fixed, and more and more. I'm a big believer of neighborhood groups, and I want to bring all the neighborhoods back again.
And in that vein, you mentioned the number of neighborhood groups. You said, 14 or 15 at one point. Not as many right now. Maybe back down to about 5 or 6.
Yeah, we're back to 5 or 6 again. Yep.
But so how important is to keep those people engaged? I mean, I know you probably still attend the neighborhood meetings.
Yes.
I mean, it's got to be difficult to keep those people in those neighborhoods engaged. How can, as a mayor, you continue to do that?
Well, let me tell you this. Why we had so much engagement back then? Because we were providing events for them. So they will come to events. Now we have a list of names, numbers. This one works for here, this one works for there, if we need to fix this, if we need to fix that. So I think that's the good part of the neighborhood, is the engagement with the neighborhood, with the neighbors. So and we can bring that back. I have to say that administration after administration, they used to meet one every other month on the 6th floor with the head departments. All the neighborhood presidents who used to, and we kind of will help each other. I have an event on my neighborhood, the Niagara, the Bank Streets. They will come to mine, and then we will help them when they have cleanups, when they have stuff to do. So that's what kept us going through all those years. But then, when you cut the neighborhoods from meeting with the administration, with meeting with the head departments, that's it. They start falling apart. That's the only thing that they survive, is that energy that comes from the 6th floor and from the head departments. And now comes to a point is, if we want an event, we have to give $500,000 to an organization, a private organization, to do an event. When neighborhood after neighborhood was doing plenty of events for free, and getting people involved. So
another big issue in the city has been the cost of trash. Many of you who watch this remember the pay-as-you-throw program, which actually was an issue for former Mayor Flanagan, and then Mayor Sutter, when he came in, tried to institute a trash fee. That didn't go well. Now the city is paying a lot more for trash. As mayor, how would you approach this issue?
So, and everybody knows how involved I am and how much I care about the trash issue. When we sold the brand new trucks for $1 million, when we had just bought them $8 million to buy them 10 months before, I already had an issue with that. Right. It was so big of an issue that I asked Michelle Dion to put a question on the ballot. And me and her, we put a question on the ballot for a transfer station. Because the transfer station, we're going to eliminate the recycling and all the problems we've been having. So we will collect all together, goes to the transfer station, and there we have jobs, and we have people that will be separate good recycling from bad recycling and all of that. And we will be able to make money on the trash and on recycling versus what we having right now. We're paying more for recycling than we actually paying for trash. But when this administration got in, he put a task force together, which I have the report here. And I have some of these people working on my team to resolve once and for all the trash problem. So I have what they told them to go and to do. And he just ignored it. He just put it on the trash. So now, back then, the question, and to build the transfer station, the cost was $13 million, 10 years ago. Was $13 million. By now, 10 years later, the project will be paid for. We will be collecting trash from surrounding areas over here, getting big revenue for the city so we could lower the tax. That's what we need to do. We need to bring more revenue to the city to be able to cut taxes on properties and everything. So we're losing millions of dollars now because this administration didn't talk the ideas and the projects from this task force.
So would you try to bring back the transfer station, try to get that going? Or is that going to be maybe $23 million?
No. The transfer station, it's not on our conversations right now, but we working in a solution because transfer station was 10 years ago.
Right.
But I have to tell you, and that's why I bought the number for $13 million. Next year, we're going to pay just to pick up trash $13.5 million for 1 year. That's how much the prices went up. But my team is committed. I have a few people from this task force, and we are committed to resolve the trash problem.
All right.
We will do it.
All right, we're just about to wrap up, but I do want to give you an opportunity to use that camera right there to my left, the black one right in front of you, to kind of give a brief, quick 1 minute or so on why they should consider Carlos Cesar on September 16th.
I just want to tell you and residents of Fall River and taxpayers that you're going to be my priority going into the sixth floor. I will bring my team for changes. We're not going to do the same thing and expect different results. So if you want change, if you want accountability, if you want to know where all this money is going and being spent, I really appreciate your support. And we all, together, we can bring this city back the way we will like it.
All right, Carlos Cesar, candidate for mayor, thank you for joining me. All the best.
Thank you.
And we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us here in FRC Media. And please vote on preliminary election day, Tuesday, September 16th.